agenda item, and I did double check this, is for Coquina Water District to use the Bassinger Civic Center for their 2 Fridays per month water district meetings at no charge. They have been meeting up there off and on. They want to now have it like scheduled all the time, their 2 meetings a month at no charge. So that's the request. We can't, as staff, authorize that, so it has to come to the board. I did look at the request. It is from Aaron Fralix. I did confirm it is Coquina and not a homeowner or one of those kinds of things. There were some questions about whether it was legitimately them, and it is.
All right. Questions, comments?
No, I'm glad that Robbie clarified that, because I did have a question, because I think in the paper, if I'm not mistaken, Katrina could probably help, it was listed as a landowners meeting. And so that's why I had a question about it.
And there may be a difference.
Just a different one.
Yeah,
but
that's what I want to find out.
Tonight,
Yeah.
Right. So landowners meetings would not be done at zero cost because they're not a government.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greg's going to pick that one up.
On that subject there, according to that particular board that runs Coquina now, they feel Coquina should be their own separate government from the commission and everything. They should abide by their own laws. So why should we give them a free pass on using the civic center out there? You know, if you let one group do it, you gotta let the other group do it. You know, I can understand if they were flat broke, but they're not flat broke. I just think it's funny that the same group that's slammed the commission, slammed the sheriffs, and everything are here asking for a handout, a freebie. You know, it's a joke.
I don't disagree with you, although it's a nonprofit organization. But
no, it's not a nonprofit.
But I believe that at least they don't have to pay for some security. I think it's gone out of hand a couple times.
They do.
Yeah.
There needs to be a sheriff deputy or 2 there, and until they can prove that they can conduct a meeting, without it getting out of hand,
Intimidation.
they need to pay for some type of security there. My opinion.
I'd like to hear from the commissioners who have been attending those meetings and are in that, and that's in their district.
Well, I mean, we follow this pretty close. We have both been at the meetings. I didn't make the last one, but my concern is, I have a couple concerns. One is, to my understanding, that the Meikle Bluff Civic Center does not have Wi-Fi capability there.
Yes.
Therefore, other residents can't monitor what's going on at the meeting if they happen to be working or out of town. I think that's an issue where they, in fact, did have that at their own meeting facility. And what I don't understand is, why are they asking for the Civic Center when they have their own meeting facility?
Exactly.
So that's already paid for. And also what you mentioned about the 501c3 individuals, those are usually organizations that exist on donations, not on funds from their members of the community, taxpayers, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I do have an issue with that, about them using that for free, because it doesn't fit the same criteria that we're using for other groups that we give that exemption to.
Yeah. And it's like tonight's meeting, they got listed Coquina, but it's going to cover landowner issues, okay? Their whole biggest thing since, it's been going on is they want to separate, they wanted Coquina separate and not make decisions for the landowners. So now, which is it? What do they want?
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden here they coming up, they're wanting to kiss your butt, kiss Noel Stevens' butt to try to get what they want now after. It's just, I think it's...
Well, I know there is an ongoing investigation, to my understanding, and we don't know what that result is going to be. So I think for all practical purposes, until we see this play out, is I know there's, last I heard, there was going to be a challenge to the vote. And so I would caution the board to make any decisions about offering a facility free of charge. Not that we can't do it at a later date when this is resolved, but I think we really need to consider the fact that there are ongoing investigations, and is the board, the current sitting board, a legitimate functioning quasi-judicial government board? So I think that being said, I would hesitate and caution. Of course, I'm not, we have an attorney to do that, and I'd certainly ask Ms. McCall to, comment on it to see how you feel about it.
Well, actually, we have also an administrative regulation on the use of county facilities, and I'm having trouble calling it up at the moment, but I could review it and we could get back with you.
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Hazley, if you have
Well, I think they would probably qualify. However, my concern is just exactly what Commissioner Culpepper said. Until the investigations are complete and all the voting is confirmed or challenged or whatever comes out of it, I would support tabling this issue.
They can use it at cost, correct?
Mm-hmm.
They could rent it.
Well, I suppose anybody can use it at cost. I mean,
Right.
we can't
We're
do
just not
that.
going to.
However, when you talk about they have their own facilities and they have capability of their transmitting Wi-Fi, they kind of, if they don't have the room, that may be a different item. But without that, they probably need to meet at their house. When it comes to the security, so far they have been paying for their own security.
Okay.
And
What about liability though? You let them use it for free. I'm sure part of the fees with the civic center covers liability issues. Say a gentleman walks in, slips, falls.
No,
crashes.
Greg, what I'm saying is till all this gets sorted out,
Yeah.
I'm not in favor of them doing it for free.
But I was wondering about the liability issues on that.
The liability is there whether it's free or
Whether
if
it's free
they
or
are
not.
paid
Yeah,
paid
we've
for.
recently had similar conversation to that. We assume the liability.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Well,
And I'm sorry.
go ahead.
And I was just trying to look in terms of precedent that's been set. I know we allow OUA to use this room with no cost, but with their OUA is also appointed by
Right,
us, and so we're well aware of their standing as a quasi judicial board. So that's probably not something to compare it to.
Plus, the meetings are video or on
Right.
video, which
Right.
they don't have out there.
Exactly.
And more importantly, I think the issue is that they have their own facility. Why don't you meet in your own facility? I mean, I'm in Greg's corner here. Is that they've come in and demonstrated their inability to want to work with the sheriff or the county. Meet in your own facility. And you want to table this, or do we want to vote to put it up for a vote? Put it up for a vote. My suggestion is that you deny it. That's up to you folks. What are you? I'll entertain a motion to whatever you want to do.
Well, but we have allowed it.
With this, they've been there before.
And
From my
before.
understanding, for one, at a time, but not.
As scheduled.
Right.
And
This
if
is-
you deny it, there's nothing that says you can't address it in the future if you
Okay.
feel that the circumstances have changed.
Okay.
So denial
So we can
is a
bring it
viable
back.
option for the board.
And any one of us could bring it back, who's ever on the,
Well,
the
they could make a
supporting
request
vote.
again as well.
Somebody make a motion, it can die for lack of second. So what's the pleasure of the board?
Well,
Let's not all speak at once.
so what we need is a motion that the Board of County Commissioners deny the request from Coquina Water District to utilize the Bassinger Civic Center on a scheduled second and fourth Friday meeting at no charge.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Owens. I have a second to that motion.
Second.
I have a second by Commissioner Hazley. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Like sign opposed. Okay. Item 8, disposition of unused county real property.